Governor
Yesli,
quick question about
on stage you mentioned talking about jailing parents, arresting parents. Can you give us context to your comments? And Senator, could you talk about that as well and why this matters for you?
Right. Well, we all know that Delegate Elizabeth Guzman said that one of her top priorities for the next upcoming legislative session was to introduce a bill that would either charge parents with a misdemeanor, a felony, and even jail time if they refuse to affirm their child's identity. I think this is insanity. My opponent, Abigail Spanberger, also a few weeks ago voted against requiring parental consent and notice before schools can provide services to our children about sexual orientation or ideology. I'm a mother of two. I've said that on the campaign trail. You all know that. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my children and the children of the 7th District. And I think that even having that conversation is so dangerous. It's a fundamental right. That is the bottom line. As a mom, I have a right to know what's happening in my child's life inside and outside of the classroom. And when you have career politicians putting forward legislation like that, it's dangerous, it's unacceptable, and it needs to stop.
Supervisor Vega, I have a question for you. Here in Prince William County, especially in 7th District, there's been a rise in crime. What will you do as Congresswoman to make sure that is being reduced here?
Look, first we have to restore that relationship that we once had. I'm a law enforcement officer, right, and it's been broken. You have a retention problem. You have people that don't even want to apply for the profession anymore because of the demonizing that has come from the defund the police movement. So I think that it's important that we empower our police departments, our police force, that they know that they're going to have the backing of their elected representatives, that they're going to have the resources and the funding, and to remind the community. I took an oath to serve and to protect. I put my life on the line because I love my community. I want it to be better, and I want to do everything that I can to ensure that that happens. So we have to restore public trust, and we have to do everything that we can to retain the talent that we have and then attract new talent.
Yes, go ahead, do one last question. Go ahead right here.
I wanted to ask you how you're feeling about your safety on the trail. I know Senator Rubio had a canvasser attack, Senator Cruz, Governor Youngkin. How are you all feeling as you're out on campaigning and talking to people, and do you feel safe, and are your supporters feeling safe?
Look, I feel safe. We have sheriff's departments coming out, police departments coming out and providing security for us. I don't have any concerns. I'm just excited and feel extremely blessed to be able to go up and down the 7th District and talk to as many voters as possible.
What about the safety
and the safety and security of this election? How can you assure that Virginia voters' votes are going to count as they're supposed to? A lot of people are concerned about this, Governor.
Okay. Well, let me start. So, first of all, Virginia's elections are secure, and I want to remind everybody that we passed 3 bills this year. We got rid of Zuckerbucks, we update our voter rolls every week, and we make sure that mail-in ballots get assigned right back to the precinct. In Virginia, every ballot is cast on a paper ballot. It is kept. We do not have voting machines. We have counting machines. I went and certified them myself. Voters can trust the election in Virginia. That doesn't mean we shouldn't go to work. We got to continue to improve our election process and continue to improve people's faith in our election process. And I call on everybody, volunteer, get engaged and be involved. Don't just cast stones from the outside.
Early voting is safe, then, is what you're
saying. Early voting is safe. I encourage everybody to get out there and vote. We've got another 14 days before Yesli Vega is elected the next Congresswoman from the 7th. You should fully participate.
And let me say this. The answer also is the way Glenn Youngkin won is so many men and women across Virginia said enough. They came out in big enough numbers that you couldn't steal the election. They came out and said, we want Virginia back. And it was moms. If there was one group that turned Virginia, it was moms that were fed up and said, listen, we should be raising our kids. We shouldn't have, our kids are not the property of left-wing Democrats. And I got to say, I look at Yesli. Yesli is a fighter. She's a mom. She understands. She's not afraid. You asked about safety. Senator Rubio had a young staffer who was violently assaulted knocking on doors. It was horrific. As I understand it, he's going to need facial reconstruction surgery because the left is so angry and so violent. And part of that is a consequence of the lawless policies of Democrats attacking and demonizing the police, letting violent criminals go, having chaos and open borders. That has produced more violence. But you asked about safety here. I can tell you Glenn and I are both safe because we had our security in Yesli Vega. She's an officer. She's here to protect us, and she's going to protect the men and women of Virginia.